fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX Laser Raise Riser from Kamen Rider Geats. And that is a bit of a tongue twister. I'm sure I will say that wrong several times throughout the review. The DX Laser Raise Riser. We have a picture of the gun itself here on the front, along with the two Raise Riser cards, one for Gin and one for Beroba. We can see Kamen Rider Gin very prominently featured here on the left side of the box, since he's probably the one that's used this weapon so far the most on the show. Up here just shows Kamen Rider Gin, Kamen Rider Beroba, putting the cards in the Laser Raise Riser. Down here, just kind of showing off warning stuff. Looks like 3 LR44 batteries are included, so we should not have to provide our own batteries, which are cool. Just showing you the contents of the box over here. And then on this side, we have kind of a cool group shot of the 4 future riders. So Beroba, Kyun, Keikira, and Jin. And then spinning it around to the back, it just shows you how to load the card in and transform into Jin. Then here is Beroba, Keikira, and Kyun. And then it's showing us down here that, of course, Geats is going to use it with Boost Mark II to get his new form, which is a very, very cool looking form. I'm very excited for that. I think that happens tonight. Actually, I think he's just going to use Boost Mark II tonight. I don't think he's going to use it with the gun, but it probably will be soon. Anyway, very cool. I'm excited for this one. I'm going to go ahead, get everything out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here is the Laser Raise Riser out of the packaging, but real quick we'll take a look at the 2 cards. So these are Raise Riser cards. This one is for Jin. It is primarily blue in color scheme, but it's kind of got some purple around the edge, which is kind of neat. And it's a nice hard plastic card. If you spin it around to this side, it has the Geats logo. Now, I don't know if that's because he sponsors Geats or because we know Geats is eventually going to use this. I tried to put these in backwards. They don't really do anything. I'll show that off a little bit later. But he does have the Geats logo here on the back. Very similarly for the Beroba card, which is primarily kind of pinkish red, but also has a little bit of purple. She has the Buffa logo on the other side. Now again, she sponsors Buffa, but I don't know if Buffa's eventually going to use one of these. But they're nice hard plastic cards. I think they're actually pretty cool. Nice translucent plastic. The colors look good. I think these are actually really cool. So we'll put these off to the side for a moment, so we can just take a look at the Laser Raise Riser. There's not a lot to it, but I do like the design. This piece actually moves. When I first took this out of the box, it's so fully integrated and just like looks like part of the gun that I did not realize this piece actually moves, which is kind of fun. The trigger is actually translucent plastic as well, which is kind of neat. Very translucent here in the center so you can see the cards. Then spinning it around to the back, it's very empty. And I'm wondering if that has to do with the Boost Mark II, because as we know, this piece comes off, and I'll show it in a moment. But I'm wondering, because I know the Boost Mark II has like a big black plastic plate piece to it, so I'm wondering if they had to leave this open so that when that slides in, there's room for it. That's my guess anyway. But yeah, at least right now, it's kind of hollow back here. And putting the cards in doesn't really do much to help that. But you can see here that you also have like a rail plate, like this is supposed to clip onto the Desire driver. So we'll check that out in a minute. If I zoom in here, you can probably see this. It says it is number, I think it says 75. Or is it 25? It's really hard to tell. I think it's 75. Yeah, I think it's 75. So we'll check that out, which is kind of cool. But for right now, we will go ahead and just check this thing out on its own. Here's a QR code. If you would like to check that out, we have an on and off switch. Speaker is over here. This is the little battery compartment. So if you ever need to change the batteries, you would just press down this plastic piece that will slide right off. And then it's the 3 watch batteries inside. So if we go ahead and turn it on, so it says its name, Laser Raise Riser. You get that generic firing sound. To take the front portion off, you're going to hold this button right here. And then that's going to pop off. And then what you do is take one of the cards and load it in. like that. Pretty fun standby music. So there you go. We are fully transformed into Kamen Rider Gin. And I didn't point this out earlier, but the metallic purple all around here I really, really like as well. I think that's a nice color scheme. Looks really nice with the white and the black. So now we're transformed. If we hit the trigger again, still that same sound. But we can push this piece up. So there you go. We do this again. Then do it a second time. So there you go. You have the finish mode, and then you have the support mode, and you get one sound for each of that. And still just the same generic firing sound. Up next, we'll try out the Beroba card, so we're just going to open this up again, and then take the card and slide it in. So I like how her transformation sound is a little different. You can hear the voice is kind of altered there, which is kind of cool. So that's Beroba transformed. Unfortunately, that's really all that's unique to her. When we do these sounds, they're going to be exactly the same. And then lastly, I did just want to show real quick, we pop this off again, and we take the card and we try to load it with the Geats side in the front. It'll clip in, but then when you pop it in, it doesn't set anything off. It doesn't trigger any sound effects. Nothing new happens. Also, the Geats logo is just slightly off center from the circle that's right here, and that's driving me crazy. Now, it's exactly the same with the buffa side of the Beroba card. That doesn't trigger anything either. It looks really neat, and I like how it's in there, but unfortunately it doesn't do anything at this point. So we have the Desire driver here, and using the back half of the Laser Raise Riser, you definitely have to take the front part off because it will not fit if that is still attached. But we'll go ahead and pop this on. So the Desire driver just starts blinking green, and then the Laser Raise Riser makes that kind of fun little chime sound, but that's really it. If I hit the trigger, it kind of changes the light on the Desire driver, but just gives me the generic firing sound from the Laser Raise Riser. That's not really doing anything. If I try to add like a second one, and of course there we go. Unfortunately, the Desire driver I think is starting to go, especially on this side. I've seen a lot of people have similar problems. So it's weird. It does nothing when connected. Like, it'll make sounds on its own, but it won't make the Desire driver make any sounds, even when you have something else connected. Like, it'll do that half, but not the other. So I don't necessarily think this is supposed to connect. It can, but it's very limited functionality. So I think really for now, I mean, maybe something in the future, maybe Boost Mark II is going to attach this way, but it seems more like Boost Mark II attaches to this on its own, or it attaches to this. I don't think the two of them to then attach to this, but I could be wrong. Maybe somewhere down the line, something like that will happen. But as for right now, I think this is really just to slide it into the holster piece that comes with the belt buckle. Not really getting... I mean, it does a little bit, but not much with the Desire Driver. And then as far as the Magnum shooter goes, I can't even connect it because how big it is. And the top of the gun hits into the front part here, so I can't even connect it on there, unfortunately. I think this one's a lot of fun. I mean, honestly, it doesn't have a ton of functionality. Basically, each card gets a transformation jingle that's unique to it, and that's cool. But those finishing and support mode attacks, they're the same for everyone as far as I can tell. I do think it looks neat. I really like the design, and we're going to get even more functionality later on down the road when Boost Mark II comes out, because it's going to have functionality with that as well. I have no idea if the cards from the Vision Driver will do anything with this, but I do like these cards. They're kind of a hard plastic card, but they look cool. You know, I don't know if they're going to be doing more of these down the line as well. I think maybe just the 4 that we have, plus the ones with the Vision Driver. But who knows? There could be other things, you know, down the line that connect with this. Or maybe there's going to be more functionality with the Desire Driver, as we saw. Not much going on right now, but maybe something down the line will plug into this with the Desire Driver for some super form or something. I have no idea. But I think it's neat for what it does right now. I don't remember it being terribly expensive. I think it was somewhere in the area of $30 to $40 before shipping. So I feel like for that, not too bad. I like it. I just wish it did a little bit more. But like I said, I feel like it will do more in the future once more stuff comes out. Now, again, that's, you know, buying more to get more out of this toy is not necessarily the best situation. But, you know, it'll still do more. It'll still have more functionality, a reason to play with it some more. I also just really like its design. I think the color scheme looks great. I think it's kind of cool. I wish there was a way to just feed the cards in without having to take it apart, but that's not a huge deal breaker. I just think it would have been better if you could just kind of like, maybe this piece would kind of push down, you could slide the card in, and then it would spring load back up or something like that. But again, not a big deal. I also think it's kind of cool that they have, you know, the other riders here on the back. And I don't know if that's going to be something later on in the future, or if that's just to show who they're sponsoring. I don't know. But again, I feel like there's a lot of hidden potential in this that's going to come to fruition a little bit later down the line. But for right now, well, for what it does, I think it's fun. I think it's worth checking out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.